Okay, let me showcase a Thunder Punch. So for Thunder Punch, you're gonna wanna, let me just beat this past his melee. You're gonna wanna get pretty close, and you're, give me a second if he can actually get down here. Then I guess he can kill himself. Boom. So you can go, like, if I can actually get close to them. Stop using knockback. Thank you so much. Let me melee you. Okay, so look. See? That was phase. That's called a phase. I hit a little higher up. You notice how my blade stopped? I think I hit the shoulders based on what I saw. Because it looked like it was high enough to be the shoulders, and the momentum stopped almost entirely. Dang. But anyways, you see what you can potentially do with this, right? So let me just get a... Oh, I did it. I think I might have done a phase there. Ooh, I got the leg. But that was the thigh, so that was a really difficult phase. Let me get a clean punch. That was the shoulder again, but it was near the head. So a Thunder Punch is where it goes through cleanly like that. Except that was a bad demonstration. But you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. So your Thunder Punch, you get learn timing and use one opening. Hold up. Goes through. No, not. Stop using melee counter. I'm actually gonna crash out. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. I want to get a clean Thunder Punch, and then I can slow these down. I'm gonna have to cut out so much of this video. Okay, can I actually fight a weapon I can do it against? Okay. That was a rebound, which is another one of my diagrams. I'm actually gonna crash out. Okay. Oh, and of course I get the wire glitch. At least we tied. Okay. He's gonna do that. I'm gonna block. Get counter checked. Boom. So that's just a rebound, blah blah blah, whatever hit. Yeah. So those are called contact zaps. The hitbox of the wire at certain angles extends past the blade, so you can get it to shock through hitting the blade on them, because it extends the wire hitbox on contact. Let me see if I can get an actual... Thank you. I wanted to throw my blade. So essentially, whenever the blade spawns in, whenever you throw it, it throws in front of you, which means it spawns in as a projectile in front of you. This means at certain ranges, you hit people like that, right? So the wire can immediately extend out, making them really easy to do it, things like that. And you see how the blade hit him right there? So that's what makes certain things work the way they do. And phases are just using its spawn distance and the endurance of and thickness of all the joints and stuff, hitboxes, to phase through them. Okay, that was some really bad rebounds. I mean, I'm having some good wires and some alright plays. Never mind. Let me cook. Okay, so for instance, let me explain melee now. So this is called offhand control, where you learn how to control your offhand too. If you spin it right, you can get your offhand to come out, which allows you to do things like this. Not have to do that. I was not using offhand control, so that's kind of my bad. And it allows you to do some decent damage, as you've been seeing. And to flow with ease. No, it's kind of my bad. Hold up. Sorry for Xing out every time. So, you know how they're talking about how Lance does the counter parry thing? Well, Blades does a similar. Every time one blade spins around, another one spins back. And because you can hit with both, you can get different angles on the hitboxes, which allows you to overwhelm if you angle it right. You do have to be pretty slow with your placements, but as long as you're placing both of them pretty accurately, no. Oh, come on. I don't want to lose this one just because I have beef with Portal. No. Okay. That's why I have beef with Portal. It's the dumbest weapon in the game. Nerf Portal, for real. Anyways, so that's an example of a decent Thunder Punch play. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually a good Thunder Punch play. But yeah, this is the kind of thing. By the way, let me just demonstrate. I'm on 1 times damage. That was just 1 times damage. Let me just stun him. And then, so yeah. If you melee properly, Blade's melee is really scary, as you can see. It is really high damage output. However, you have to learn how to phase really well, because if you don't, you end up losing your blades, and you can't properly do things. See, that was a lucky grab play. What grabs are when you grab the weapon like that. So let me see if I can educate on rebounds a bit in this video. Okay, so let me just do some more melee stuff real quick. So you see the spin of the blades? Well, your blades, with the faster they spin, is the more momentum they have. And also, let me explain something about how bots work. Bots work a little different from players, but they still work in similar ways. There's something called interrupts. So when you hit a player, you can mess with their DI, and if they don't adjust, it can change where their abilities aim. So if you hit a blade at them and you rebound on them, and you're fast enough and you have good enough momentum, you can probably pull it off and mess up abilities. I've used it to save my life before. It even works against players, but to a lesser degree. And bots will sometimes alter their own DI in interesting ways, as you saw with that lightsaber. And so if you're meleeing, you can even mess up someone's DI if you do a quick smack right before something happens. So you just gotta learn how to adjust it. So just like fling your thing out, Let me see if I can just... No. Dang. Ooh, get cooked! You see that play? Oh, I'm so tired right now. Okay, let me demonstrate against some hammer how scary melee can be. I'm a little iffy at my rebounds right now, if you couldn't tell, but my melee is pretty good. I just need to practice it a bit more. So maybe I need to practice it a lot more. Yeah, I think I need to practice it a lot more. But you can even beat something like Hammer's melee if you know where to hitch on. See, I put all my momentum on the handle, but also a little bit towards the hammerhead, just enough to where I could... See this? See this? See this? That's sort of gameplay right there. What I did was I put my momentum, so as it was swinging into me, it was pushing me back, right? But I put my momentum a little bit near the hammerhead, which slowed him down, and then I put enough of friction on the handle near his hand to where it dragged me near his hand, but slowed him down near his head, and so I was pulled a little bit towards him. I basically dragged. And you see that play? Dang it! But yeah, you can get some insane plays down the blitz. It's actually really fun. Let me see if I can do some rebounds. Maybe not. Okay, rebound 1, rebound 2. Maybe all I need is 2. See? All you gotta do is just hitch inside the handle, and you gotta block and learn how to not let yourself get bullied around. It's only for brief encounters, but you can beat most melee if you know what you're doing with quick enough grabs and phases. See that? You can do a thing against me. And yes, for a real player, they're gonna do even more. And you know what you gotta do? Even more. If you are skilled enough, blades can be one of the most perfect melee weapons. Now, don't let them get underneath you unless you can get a good crouch like this. Mainly because underneath you have less options. And I only say unless you can get a good crouch, because if you do get a solid crouch off and you use rebound, you can adjust enough. See that? I used a rebound, and when the snapback for my arm hit, I threw up and killed him, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check the footage. I'll do a review video of this video later. So, these are just some cool plays I can do. I'm a little rusty right now, though. And I can't pull off Blade's teleportation, sadly, at the moment. I need to practice my rebounds for real, though. Oh. Thank you. Meow. Okay, I guess that's not an insane play or anything. Yeah. See, don't let go of the joystick. I don't know why I end up doing that. I sometimes forget to grab back onto my joystick. But yeah, so if you notice, if you shock them, he's obviously stunned, which allows you to have melee opportunities. So because of contact zaps, and because of previously mentioned interrupts and similar things, you can end up shocking and hitting around the body to actually manipulate how his arms and his weapon affects him. So that's the main way you actually end up beating people via melee. Now, for some things, it gets a little more complicated, right? So, hammer is just beginner, beating complex melee. Yeah, hammer and sword, those are your beginner melee weapons to practice against. They have a solid melee and teach you how to work around having a worse melee. Now, believe it or not, I can even teach cards melee. That gets really rough. At that point, it's not working around, it's insane. Trying to play with cards melee is one of the most painful things I've ever done, but it technically can be pulled off. I'm gonna have to make some videos on that sometime. I'm gonna get another more organized video for the teaching thing too, and get some clips, but this should suffice for a basic thing. Hold up, give me a second. No, okay, that was too risky. Never be overconfident against hammer. You can fight hammer, but you can't beat hammer. You are not better than hammer. You are outwitting hammer. Force-wise, hammer will always be a better melee option. The weak spot, the ghost spot. I used the hammer weak spot. Did you see how insane that was? Let me see if I can get into it again. I'm gonna see if I can activate a phase grab, because it would be nice to have one of them in these videos. I mean, probably not. In fact, I'm surprised I even got what I managed to get in here, considering I haven't played in a couple months. But I guess looking at my diagrams helped. I'm gonna have to look at my rebounds diagram then, because I'm actually kind of being cracked right now. Dang it, trust. Okay. I'm gonna just go against sword briefly, and then I'll go against DS. I won't show lance today. Okay, so a sword, it can break past your defenses, and your only real hope is... Let me demonstrate in a second. So a sword, you want to slip under and abuse its weak point. With hammer, you just want to adjust it. But sword, adjusting is really risky. Here, let me see if I can actually get into a melee fight with sword that's not involve its stupid dash. See, so because you have two pieces, you can distance yourself, right? And you can control, because you can rebound instantaneously. See how I adjust his dash to not be in a killing rate? So you need to just adjust his dash by giving a quick bop. See? Quick bop, and all of a sudden I'm fine. And he literally clipped inside of me into a safe way, because of a single bop. That's all it takes. So the sword, it's all about the bops. And you're gonna wanna learn how to position well and Sorry, I'm kinda selling right now. Give me a second. No! He impaled me. Okay, time to show off everything I know about DS. Rebound tutorial will come later for real. First of all, never press up against a DS who has an orb without a backup option. And second of all, you need to find the weak point of DS, which I've forgotten. Rebounds are a lot better against DS, but I'm really bad at my rebounds right now. Yeah, I'm just going myself down. That's just shit. Now this is a winnable map. Is you want to bat away one, and you want to bat away the other. Okay, you see what I was doing there? You don't want to get jump on you. You have to keep the range in the right scenario. So look, you got to keep them at the tip of your range and only move in when it's very open. Because you put yourself too close, they're just gonna bat you away. So you have to pretty much find openings by batting. Okay, you gotta find openings by batting away its main things, and you gotta always watch out for orbs. Now lightning, you can actually use to your advantage, and you can counterplay, and you can still throw during lightning. So lightning, you don't have to worry about unless they get a good melee on you. So don't let yourself be too vulnerable for lightning. But for orb, panic. Like as far as it goes for orb, my main recommendation is to wire it away. So if you, I'm going to teach you how to quick wire, 1 second. Okay, never mind. Am I going to get orb? Was he going to get orb? Hello? Really, buddy? Can I quick wire for once? Oh, thank you. The first time I had an actual legitimate quick wire. Okay, so look, you knock it away. You want to do something like that. And I won because I was able to defend well enough. I mean, it was a horde living, but I was able to defend just enough. Now, I should have been punished for what I just did there, but the bot's kind of dumb. Okay, early game, if they have orb, you just want to reduce the ableness to hit you. And as long as you're on the ground, orb's not a big issue. As long as you're solidly on the ground. The main issue with orb is if they can pick you up, or they can get a good enough angle to where they can make it hit you into the air, that's when orb becomes a threat. Orb is never a threat if it's pushing you down into the floor. Wood is a threat technically, and I mean it can reduce your melee, but it's not. Oh, he's walking in the thing. I'm really unpracticed right now, if you can tell. Okay, so something there is phases with melee, which other weapons clip into your weapon. And because you can throw, you can displace your weapon's position and then replace it in your hand. Meaning you can automate clipping. See how I ducked to put my angle too low and I contact zapped him? So I'm getting a bit more into the familiarity. I just rebound his foot there because there's an opening. I pull him around with a special archetype. I'm just kind of locked in right now and I don't want to get cooked. See, I made the angle so bad to where the only way he could actually hit me was to go really high in the air. So just remember, always decrease the angle. And for lightning, make sure your position is beneficial. For instance, that gave me an immediate opening from there. I mean, I screwed it over, but see, that lightning thing allows me to rebound back. They lightning you, you gotta know how to use it. So there's two main things to lightning. First of all, your hand position. That's going to be very important to your positioning for throwing. See, I couldn't really pull off good throws there. But if, for instance, give me another lightning, sir. Sir. See, for that, I can get some really nice throwing positions. I could even have put him in a blade grab there if I was a little better at it. And the second part is just your body positioning, for instance, how you're able to bounce around and interact in the environment. You'll see instances of, oh, he baited me. See, I timed it right that time, but I just predicted bad. So against a player, it's going to be a lot worse than a bot. You gotta always remember that. But it is still very playable against a player, as long as you learn the in and outs of each weapon, and then you adjust them to fit your friend's playstyle. So all you do is to put an extra effort just to play Blade's melee. As you can see from some of the damage I was pulling off, and some of the plays I have, Blade's melee can be scary. And Blade's rebound is not to be messed with either, because I'm about to show you an awesome clip in a second. Really? Okay, boom, boom. Dang it. I thought I could knock him around. Oh, I jumped. That was such a bad position. It was a clutch rebound, because he off-positioned himself. Okay, look. So you can hit. Maybe I can't hit. My timings are just off. Okay, I shoved him around there. So see, rebounds generally work better against DS, as DS's melee has its weaknesses in such a way where you can knock them away. And right at melee, it can switch too fast. But for rebounds, even if it switches, with the general speed of how things move, and with the speed that you're able to like throw another and predict, you can generally get things in. Plus, if you're using a rebound plus melee combo, like I did there, that did some damage, so it's near melee range. If you throw and you have an opening right between switches, you can do damage with your rebounds, because Blades doesn't normally deal damage, but with specialized throws, you can jam the hitbox in their being like that. That was just a special phase that was interacting with his arm. But there's a jam earlier. I feel like that's good enough.